Hi, today we're taking a look at Project 3, which is your conspiracy theories. So first off, you just want to go down to your projects folder in Blackboard. From there, you'll go to Project 3. Now, first off, remember that you do have some readings that will help you through that if you like. There is a chapter on descriptive writing. Some classes are including a survey and some are not. So if you're including a survey, be sure that you look through the survey questions. All right, so first off, let's take a look at the argumentative and persuasive writing. Remember that this is an argumentative piece, which is what most essays are in college. You can go through, click on the example, and it will take you right through and tell you what the other counterclaim is. And this is a great setup for it. Okay, so you just click on there and it will take you to the worksheet. You can take a look at that yourself. The next thing you want to do is go to the theories, outline, and examples. Now, this is a Word doc, so you should be able to download and type directly on. Remember, your download will show up in the left corner, right at the bottom. Just double click. Should come up for you. While we're waiting on that, we'll come back over and take a look at some of the examples. Remember also that you'll need to do peer workshopping, so give yourself time to do that once you get everything done. You can always have the Writing Center tutor, or you can use your tutor link inside Blackboard. All right, so let's take a look at an example. This one is on Kurt Cobain. Remember, we're using a PEE format, so make your point. Give me the evidence, the text, the quote that backs it up. I want the quote that backs it up because that's the expert opinion, that's the expert testimony. And then give me your testimony as to tie everything together, that aha, this is what it means. Where are you headed with that? So enlighten the reader with that last sentence. Now you may want to do just a little section there that gets us going, that tells us what the theories are, because remember, we're putting these into pieces. There are two main conspiracy theories about Kurt Cobain. The first theory regarding Kurt's death is he committed suicide due to the fact he could no longer handle his superstardom. The second and more interesting theory regarding the death of the superstar is that Courtney Love had her husband killed because of his rising fame and newly accumulated wealth. Now, these two theories should match what's in your introduction. The first one will be your first one listed in your introduction. The second one, if you had a third or fourth one, and so on. If those are not in order, either switch your order in your intro or switch your order here at the introduction. But those two things should match. Your introduction should match your order here. And readers expect that. They expect that order to be there. All right, and we're going to drop that first theory down. So you're going to see now this first theory right here is now going to drop right straight down to this paragraph. We'll do that one. Then we'll do our second theory. Going to see it drop down below that. And there it is. So we're going to talk about those in the same order. Again, I'm going to use that PEE format. The point here is the first conspiracy that is widely accepted is that Kurt Cobain committed suicide. Very straightforward, very simple. I want you to give me a simple explanation. Keep it easy for the reader to follow. Okay, don't lose your reader. Again, I need a quote, and you're going to see that in that second sentence. Probably, that's kind of a long paragraph. Could have definitely have made some of those others. Now, these are student examples, so there's errors. I would have made a couple more of those afterwards as well. Would have used some quotes there as well. Otherwise, you're just retelling me something that becomes hearsay, or, you know, there's no testimony or proof. So I would like a few more quotes than that throughout there. Now, that last sentence is going to tie everything together. It is possible these disagreements begin to slowly wear Kurt down to the point he thought about committing suicide. So that's the author's point on it. Okay. More about that theory. So we have a second paragraph on that. Remember, writing about 3 pages. If you went longer on your project 2, then you could shorten this one some, or vice versa. Okay, so we're needing about a 5.5 to 6 page length total throughout the entire essay, minus the works cited page. Okay, so this conspiracy theory helped mark the Cobain case as solved, but it is not logical, as most of the facts came from Courtney Love. So here's the argumentative, the other point of view. Okay, we told one point of view. Now we're going to tell why it's not logical. Okay, and again, that PEE format set up, you're going to see a quote there. And then that last one ties everything together. Was Kurt Cobain depressed to the point where he took his own life, or are these reports by Courtney a cover-up for something more sinister, such as murder? And the second conspiracy theory leads us right on into Courtney Love, who is a suspect in the murder. And this one has some really good quotes as we go through. So again, I want those quotes there. Back that up. Okay. Another factor that destroys the suicide conspiracy theory. So again, giving the other point. Now, you don't really fully have to develop the other point. You just have to address that it's there and that other people do believe that. Okay. So it goes on and talks about more evidence there. Now, this one does have a little bit of a conclusion here. Also, there's no way therefore, some experts conclude that Kurt Cobain was likely murdered versus his committing suicide. The evidence in this case proves Courtney Love remains the most likely suspect in the case. So, and there's the works cited on it. Remember that your works cited, whatever's at the front here, is going to be whatever is inside the essay. So if I go back, you're going to see these match up. Okay, I want those all to match. The 1 is a page number. So if you have a true book, then you might have a true page number. So remember that your quote marks go around those as well, so that the reader knows it's an article or an author. There is another example as well on 9/11. And again, use that PEE format. So go through and take a look at that. All right. Let's look at the opening project here. The Word document that you can work yourself through. Make it simple. Make it easy. Remember, you don't have to start with the introduction part, which is just a few sentences to lead us in, tell us what those conspiracy theories are. You can start explaining conspiracy 1, then you can go on to 2 and 3. You need at least 2. Okay, 3 is a good number. 4 is a lot, but it'll work. Okay, so just waiting on Word to open. We're going to follow that PEE format again. It's a little slow. There we go. So we're going to click Enable Editing so that we can actually type on it. Now again, a lot of these examples do have the survey in there, so you may or may not be including that depending on the class you're in. This one has an example at the bottom, so go through and read if you need to. There are several examples in the folder, and you can also link out to the website, the blog spot, and read more examples if you want. Remember, student examples, there are errors in some of them. So, all right. Now, we're going to introduce those conspiracies in the same order. So that's your thesis. So if I was to write this in, there are 3 conspiracy theories on Natalie Holloway. Now again, I'm going to drop down. What's my first one? I'm going to put that right up here in the same order that my introduction to the essay had. Okay. Now, when you get ready to put those in, okay, where's your details? Where's your evidence? These are your details. The evidence, where's the quotes? that back that up. Okay, these need the quote marks around them, so you're going to have citations. Why will the theory work or not work? Okay, in this case, the theory didn't work well. There's no evidence that she was kidnapped. No one has come forward. No boats were determined as being coming in and out at that time on that same part of the beach, so you can explain that. Then move to your next one. Okay. Again, whether or not you're including a survey. And then we want to just wrap up, make sure that it feels completed. Now, we'll be doing a formal conclusion that wraps up our entire essay because we're putting everything together. So we'll come back. So this one just needs a sentence or two so that it feels finished. Okay, you can come back and hit on the main point of what you might think would have happened. Remember to not use the I. Okay, pull that out, reword. Instead of I believe that, just be strong in your conviction. Okay. Joran Vandersloot is the best suspect in the case of missing case of Natalie Holloway. Case of missing girl or something like that. All right. That should walk us all the way through. If you need more help, just let us know.